Welcome, everyone, to Ladies' Number One Detective Agency, Clearing the Paranormal. It's season 1, episode 9. I am your host, Amaya Clark, and it is January the 14th, 2024. Today, we are going to the 2020 archives, and this story is about an old building that was being turned into a residence. And not only was the building haunted, and the owner was quite aware of it, but he also knew he was on his way to being fully possessed. This clearing and healing that we did, both Bill and I, was for the whole family. So this story begins back in January of 2020. I was late in the evening and I had literally just updated my website to uh, add the services for doing spirit clearing. And I got contacted. I got a phone call from a woman who left me a message saying that she was very concerned about her son and that she was hoping I would be able to help out. When I contacted, I was thinking when she left them after listening to the message that must be a young boy that she was talking about. And when I actually spoke to her on the phone, it turned out that it was her adult son, and the whole family was being affected by what was happening, not only to him, but they were all being impacted by these ghosts that were in the building. So this was a husband and their 2 kids. And the other concern was one of the children wasn't in school yet, so she was spending a lot of time with her dad while the dad was renovating. So she was in the part of the building that was haunted, and it was starting to affect her as well. So when I reached out to the husband and spoke to him, this building was out of town, not far out of town, and it was an older building that, like I said, they were renovating so that they could live in it. And he said that it was so bad that he was like working on it constantly and he couldn't stop. And his daughter was with him due to her age, and he was starting to get concerned about what was happening to her as well. And I'm just going to go through some of my notes on here. The mother that had contacted me, she had actually been to the place to check it out, and she was an energy worker as well. So she could feel the dark energies, and she was looking around trying to see, what if there was something there. She was trying to get a handle on what was happening. She did find some old magazines and stuff that she suggested that they be thrown out, which I can't remember if they did or not. And sometimes it's what's in the articles. Like it may be a building, but negative energies and entities can actually be on things as well. So, in speaking with the husband, he was pretty astute and he knew what was happening. In fact, he said that he had been doing some research and he understood that there were 3 stages and that the second stage was obsession, and that would lead then to possession. And he felt that he was pretty close to being totally possessed by these ghosts or entities that were in the building. So at this point in time, I contacted Bill. He came into the studio. We cleared the building. We already knew that the whole family were going to have to come in to be cleared as well, just because of the activity that was happening and how serious it was. I mean, these ghosts were actually causing harm, causing harm through accidents and stuff at the renovation site, but also attacking the husband as well. It was becoming extremely serious. And I think in all of the clearings that we've done, this is the first time that we were dealing with somebody who was almost possessed by these things and was being so negatively impacted. So as we got ready to do the clearing, as always, we were getting lots of interference. Bill came into my studio. It was a much longer process in those days for us to prepare to do the clearing. And as I said, we asked the family then to come in, and I asked another Reiki practitioner to come in as well to help out, because when we have that many people, it's a lot more work. So the day that we had the whole family coming in, interference always happens. So the two people, um, which we found out later, were most affected by the ghosts in the building, ended up getting sick and they weren't able to come. So neither the dad nor the son were able to come in for the clearing, which was fine. We ended up doing the daughter and the mother, and it was interesting because the I figured that because the daughter had spent so much time with the dad that she would have a lot of stuff in her energetic field, but it wasn't really that bad. So we then decided, because it was easier for the family, that we would just go on location and just do mobile sessions for the dad and for the son. So when we talked to him, he said that he noticed immediately that everything was gone from the place when we actually went to see them. And he said at that up to that point in time, he was, he would be working 20 hours a day and he wasn't sleeping. And he also noticed that before we came, that when we came on site to do the clearing for himself and his son, that he was feeling really angry. And that these entities that were in his field, because we cleared the space, but not him, they were actually controlling him. Uh, he could feel when we did his clearing all the energies leaving him. He felt lots of releasing. And on a side note, Bill was working on his feet and he said, um, I'm getting something around your foot, like something got cut. And the client reported after that he actually had cut his tendons when he was walking on something in a different country. So that was interesting. And I'm just I'm looking at my notes here. So yeah, he was actually hearing voices, the father. He was actually starting to see the beings and the dark energy. We actually, when we did the clearing, could feel that there was a portal there. So we did our portal clearing. And after that clearing, and after clearing him, he said he had no more voices. He was no longer seeing any beings or entities. And the that was not him.